Trig graph discovery, third level. Write the equation of the trigonometric graph. Try whole numbers or unit fractions for the value next to x. All right, so now they're telling us that there is some sort of effect on the period. So our foundation is y equals our amplitude times cosine of our number that affects period plus a phase shift on the x plus a phase shift on the y. All right, so let's just go through each one. The midline is usually where we start. Here's our midline. If you need to calculate it, it would be the average of these. So that would be 2 plus -2 divided by 2. I got 0 on the top. So our midline is 0, and that's a y equals equation. So y equals 0. Notice it's in the middle. Next is our amplitude, and here's our max. It's easiest to focus on the max. So it's going to be the max minus the midline. Our midline is 0 in this case, and then this is our a that I'm finding right here. The max minus our midline, let me just go ahead and write that as an equation. So our midline is c. So our max is 2 minus 0. Our amplitude is 2. Let me just start marking it. So amplitude of 2, midline of 0, and then our period is where it repeats. How long does it take to repeat? Usually we're going to start at the y-axis. So here's our starting point. When's the next time does it get to that spot? So it goes down, it goes up, right there. How long, how far was that? So we're finding out the change from 0 to pi over 2. So the change from 0 to pi over 2, how did 0 to pi over 2 change? So change is defined as the second minus the first. So that would be pi over 2 minus 0, which is equal to pi over 2. So every pi over 2, it repeats. It repeats. And that's going to be, that's our period. So that's our period, and our period is equal to 2 pi over b. So we need to find b. Let me just confirm. It's usually the same number, but we just want to verify. So our period was pi over 2 equals to 2 pi over b. And I'm going to go ahead and use the reciprocal method. So I'll go ahead and do my work over here. So that would be 2 over pi is equal to b over 2 pi. And then we're going to times by 2 pi. The pi's cancel, and I get 4 equals my b. Okay, so b is 4. All right. So plugging everything in, I got a amplitude of 2, a b value of 4, and a midline of 0. Got it. All right. So we just want to calculate it. I think they want you to kind of discover it on your own. But for me, I think it's much better just to go straight into the calculation side of it since we're here. Cosine. Let's see if they have any signs here. There's a sign. All right. So let's go ahead and see how we do. So foundation y is equal to a sine of bx plus d plus c, where this part is inside the trig function. All right. So we're looking for a, we're looking for b, and we're looking for c. Okay. Our midline. Midline's first. So midline is max plus min divided by 2. And this is a y equals equation. So our max is -1. Our min is -3. So this turns into y equals our max of -1 plus min of -3 divided by 2. Get -4 divided by 2 or -2. So y equals -2. That's our midline. That cuts through the center. And then our amplitude. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll do it. So our amplitude, running out of room here. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Might work right here. Our amplitude is equal to the max minus the midline. The midline is also called C. So the maximum is -1 minus the midline is -2. -1 plus 2 is equal to 1. A is equal to 1. That's our amplitude. So I got 1 here, midline is -2, and the last part is the period. How fast does it repeat? So sine goes up with the start. So when's the next time it goes up? Right here at 2 pi over 3. So we're going from 0 to 2 pi over 3. We're looking at the change between these two numbers. Change is defined as the second minus the first. So 2 pi over 3 minus 0 is our change. This is our period. And so our period is equal to 2 pi over 3. Now we want B, not the period. Period and B are related. So let's go ahead and calculate what B is. Let's get rid of this over here, give myself some room. All right. And our period is equal to 2 pi over B. And period is 2 pi over 3. So we have 2 pi over 3 equals 2 pi over B. I'll go ahead and use a different technique. Times by B, times by B. B's cancel. That now gives us B 2 pi over 3 is equal to 2 pi. To get rid of everything but the B, I multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 3 over 2 pi. Do that to both sides. 3 over 2 pi. Okay. So what does that do? 3 and the 3 cancel. 2 pi and 2 pi cancel. We're left with just B on the left equals 2 pi and 2 pi cancel, and we're left with just 3. So there's our final answer. We got 3 for a B. So 1, 3, -2. All right. Got it. So just my suggestion, make sure that you are using the formulas. Feel free to kind of play around with it a little bit, but the formulas are the way to go. And let's see what they do. Wow, how'd they go from period to getting the B? That's pretty tricky. 3 times every 2 pi, I guess. I'm not sure. Tricky. All right. My formula is the way to go, it looks like.